An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen.
Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Welcome once again, PFL fight fans, to Orlando, Florida, home of the Challenger Series. This is the 7th of 8 straight weeks of mixed martial arts action on Fubo Sports. My favorite weight class, the light heavyweights, taking center stage. What are we here for on the Challenger Series? We are here to find talent. We've got 4 fights and only 1 contract to give out tonight. 4 fight winners are all eligible for the contract. The PFL will narrow 4 fight winners down to 2 finalists. Our celebrity panel, who you meet in just a moment, they will weigh in. You, the fans at home, have an opportunity to help us decide who wins a PFL contract, and the winner of that contract will appear in our 2023 PFL season. Sean O'Connell here beside the Challenger Series Smart Cage, and beside Kenny Florian. Kenny, 7 straight weeks with me.
I don't know how I've done it. There's 1 more week. I'm just trying to breathe. Yeah.
He's a real champion for enduring all of this. But look, it's the light heavyweights. Yeah. And no bones about it, this is one of the most exciting weight classes we have inside the Professional Fighters League. Winning a contract tonight means jumping into a season. What do you expect?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, this is one of the toughest sports in the world. It is clear when you watch these fights, but, you know, we meet with these fighters, we learn their backstories, we, learn about all that they had to do just to get here, and everything that they're fighting for. Only one of these guys are going to get a contract. There's a ton of talent back there. Only 1 contract. Crazy stuff.
8 hot prospects, and let's take a look at the matchups. We'll start the night with Monty Morrison and Roland Dunlap. That, I think, might be a striker versus grappler classic matchup. Tristan Overbeek, Billy Elikana. Taylor Johnson, he's actually back. He won a Challenger Series fight a year ago. He'll take on Trey Williams. Impa Kasanganay versus Osama El Saidi. Both of those talented fighters making their PFL debuts. Let's look at the odds here. You can see some big numbers next to Kasanganay and Johnson's name. We'll have some help from our betting expert in a minute navigating those numbers. Billy Elikana and Roland Dunlap, both favorites in the blue corner. All right, I told you part of the Challenger Series format is we have celebrity judges. And we welcome back Tim Kennedy, the world's most dangerous American, Tyron Woodley, and Randy Couture here as well. Tim Kennedy, the big boys are here. 205-pounders, that means power, speed. What are your expectations?
Man, my expectations are finishes. Light heavyweight division, they come out there, they throw heavy hands. They're athletes with power. When they're in that cage, you're just going to see finishes where it's submissions or knockouts. I'm pumped for tonight.
Tyron Woodley, Tim Kennedy hit it on the head. You got to finish to win in this division. More finishes in the light heavyweight division than any other PFL weight class. Does a finish equal a contract tonight?
First off, I'm back for the last week this season. I'm blessed to be in the building. I call them the lightning heavyweights, and I expect to see them do just that. And I so happen to have the best seat in the entire house to watch it.
And Randy Couture, this is a weight class you excelled in during your career. What do you think of these light heavyweights?
Well, I'm anxious to see these guys get after it. Highest finish rate in the PFL. Who has the mental fortitude and mental skills to go out there and get the job done tonight?
When you have Randy Couture in the building and you have Tyron Woodley, both former title holders, in the building, you send them backstage to give these fighters a word or 2 of advice. We did that a little bit earlier. Take a look.
Hey, fellas, it's that time. Everybody look calm. Everybody look relaxed. I saw the stare downs. I saw the weigh-ins. You guys are ready to fight, and it's a high expectation. We're expecting a lot from this group. We watch you guys build up to this point. We read the bios, and go out there and do what you got to do.
I appreciate the fact that you're all smiling. You're all relaxed. I'm sure this is a little bit surreal. There's no roar of the crowd. None of that stuff here. A little bit different situation. Obviously, a lot of things resting on your performance tonight. So the fact that you're relaxed and smiling right now tells me a lot. It's about having the mental fortitude, the mental skills to embrace this adversity, go out there and show us exactly what you're capable of doing. One of you is going to get a contract tonight. Pretty amazing opportunity. I wish you guys all luck. I appreciate and respect each and every one of you. So go out there and do your job.
And the job tonight, Kenny, is not just to win, but to impress those men and the fans at home and get a vote for a contract, because only one of the 8 fighters tonight gets to join the PFL light heavyweight season.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're just like a bunch of male lions trying to claim their territory. Can't wait.
All right, I showed you the odds a little bit earlier, and there were some big numbers. Well, our betting expert, Ian Parker, is the best in the business, and in fact, he's coming off a week where he was perfect last week. So, Ian Parker, give us those perfect picks again.
Sean, I'm going to try to live up to that each and every week. And I know Randy Couture loves a good parlay, so let's start off with that. We're going to go Roland Dunlap to start off. Both fighters 3-0. Both guys good strikers. The difference here, Dunlap does have a ground game I think he could rely on, so we're going to go with him as the first leg. Taylor Johnson, we saw him last season wrestling. The IQ got better. His cardio lasted very well. I think he is someone to really keep an eye on this time around. I think he's in it to win it. Second leg right there. And if you pay attention to the betting big board, odds already down to -130. Last but not least, Impa Kasange. This guy is a special talent, had a little bit of a tough run at the end with the UFC, has all the tools to win. He is going to be the final leg. Last but not least, we went with an underdog last week, which I really enjoyed in Zorcher. He proved us exactly what we thought he was going to do. This fight, I'm going underdog again. I'm going with Overvig. I think he's got the submission game, and I think he's got the card to outlast Elkanah. Give me him +145. Let's do it again this time, Sean.
Thank you, Ian. We'll be checking in with Ian throughout the night, checking on the progress with the picks. This is the PFL Challenger Series on Fubo Sports. Without further ado, let's get to the action. Our first bout of the evening is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. 3 5-minute rounds at 205 pounds between Monty Morrison and Roland Dunlap. And there is Roland Dunlap, a former United States Marine. He actually served as a machine gun specialist. He told us what winning a PFL contract would mean to him.
To get that contract at the end of the night, for me, it'd be more of an opportunity to show people that maybe had doubts about me, maybe seen what I have done, but haven't seen me very active lately, to kind of shut their mouths a little bit and show them that I'm ready to perform at a high level.
Roland Dunlap in the cage. Final touches the warm-ups. And there is our red corner fighter. He's a native of Lagos, Nigeria. Monty Morrison explained the challenges he faced when he moved to Florida.
Making the move from Lagos, Nigeria to Sarasota, it was a weird dynamic, man, like a culture shock. Not what I expected. The food was terrible. No one can cook there except my family. Kind of opened the box for me to try new things. So in that way, it was pretty good. But yeah, definite culture shock. But just being in Florida in general was a blessing.
And introducing our fighters, courtesy of Puncher's Chance Kentucky Bourbon, Farouk Tahi.
Welcome, everyone around the globe. The 2023 Challenger Series PFL continues. Live tonight from Orlando, Florida at Universal Studios, it's time to seal the deal and feel that big cage energy move you. Tonight, we have the lightweight heavyweight action. Fighting in the blue corner, he's a wrestler with a perfect record of 3-0 with 2 knockouts in his victories. Fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, representing the USA, your nightmare, Roland the Dream Dunlap. His opponent fighting in the red corner, a kickboxer with a professional record that's perfect of 3-0 with 3 knockouts in his victories. Fighting out of Sarasota, Florida, representing Nigeria, Monty Python Morrison.
Take a look at our tail of the tape for this light heavyweight affair, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Monty Morrison is 31 years of age, making him 1 year older than Roland Dunlap. Both of these fighters 6'3". Morrison weighed in at just 202 pounds. Dunlap at the light heavyweight limit of 206. Both arms and legs, you'll see a reach advantage for Monty Morrison. Josh Rutgers will be our referee for this first bout of the evening. Light heavyweights. Looking for a contract. Roland Dunlap in the gray, Monty Morrison in the black, a touch of the gloves. And we are underway. Dunlap with the hands down, the sideways stance. Started training karate when he was just 4 years old. His father, a karate black belt. And you can see some of that in the stance, despite the fact, Kenny, that he has a very extensive wrestling resume.
Yeah, that's what makes him such a unique talent. He looks very smooth on the feet, a guy that truly can move very well on the feet and on the ground. Light on his feet, very good at feinting, and he can throw a lot of unorthodox techniques, and Morrison's going to have to watch out for a lot of those spinning attacks.
Control the hand fight. Beautiful. Yeah, good. Exactly. Yeah, make him react.
Some luminaries in the corner of these two gentlemen. Roland Dunlap has Duke Rufus in his corner, King Mo Lawal in Monty Morrison's corner. So excellent coaching on both sides for these talented 3-0 fighters. There is King Mo inside the red corner of Monty Morrison.
Straight right hand, Monty. Let that right hand go. You get that range though. Look, man, get that right, Monty.
That is on the left side, Duke Rufus in the corner of Roland Dunlap.
Yep. Yeah, good hand fight. Yeah, Dan.
Both corners navigating their fighters through this pretty extensive feeling out process. 90 seconds in. Tyron Woodley, we saw King Mo calling for the right hand. We just saw Morrison miss with it a couple times. What do you think of Monty Morrison so far?
You know, definitely it's a chess match. They're taking the pawns. They're moving in one, they're moving in two. I've trained extensively at Rufus Sport Camp, and obviously I'm an American top 10 fighter, so I see what they're doing and filling out the process. One thing that I know Duke Rufus is really good at, he's really good at training opposite stance. He was he was orthodox. His brother was a southpaw. He trained me to fight 7 southpaws in a row. So when as a King Mo's yelling out for the right hand, I promise you that Dunlap is prepared for it. He's ready to counter off of it, and we see these guys, they're ready to go at any moment.
And Randy Couture, Roland Dunlap, a 3-time All-American at Wisconsin Whitewater in wrestling, but he's got the karate stance. He doesn't look like a wrestler in the stand-up.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like Lyoto Machida in the way he's approaching this with his stand-up, the spinning, the interesting use of his hips. It's a tough thing to figure out when you're used to orthodox fighters coming at you and throwing things from Western boxing and kickboxing. That's going to be a challenge for Morrison to figure that out.
Tim Kennedy, we're seeing the former Marine switching stances constantly. How difficult is that going to be for Monty Morrison to figure out?
Yeah, it's tough, you know, but Morrison's doing a great job adjusting with range. You know, those two corners, even though they have great guys in their corners, you know, they represent 2 very good fight gyms. As Morrison's adjusting distance, finally gets into the clinch, you know, Dunlap's able to hopefully do what he wants to do, which is where the fight's going to happen. And there we go. There's the takedown. Now we can do some ground and pound. You know, this is going to be a tough fight.
Little trip there for Dunlap, who now moves directly into the mount. Monty Morrison mounted as Roland Dunlap drags him against the barrier. Hammer fist raining down. And Dunlap, Kenny, is right in front of his own blue corner.
Keep that underhook strong on the left and pound him with your right, Cub.
Yeah, and you see right here, Dunlap has his head over the head of Morrison. Also looking right here, is in that half guard, needs to start to advance that left leg into mount if he wants. A lot of guys will try to use this control, that leg control, to control the hips of the guy on bottom, but Dunlap right now firing on all cylinders. Phenomenal striker, excellent control on the ground as well.
Rip that wrist free. All right, hip bump a little hard. Yep, There you go. That's it.
Corner of Morrison calling for an underhook. Nasty hammer fist here from Roland Dunlap.
Oscar up and hit. There you go. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Stay on him.
Morrison's doing a good job of keeping his composure. He's able to keep in position. Look at that jump off the cage. Dunlop taking a page out of his training partner, Anthony Pettis' book. Oh, wow, these are beautiful hammer fists as well.
Watch the back of the head.
Warning from the referee for Dunlap hitting the back of the head. Morrison taking the worst of it right now. Roland Dunlap on top. Big right hand comes down.
Yeah, and those are the kind of moves that show confidence and that you're here to entertain and you're here to win. Dunlap on fire.
Morrison will get out of here, the courtesy of that bell.
And here we're going to take a look at some action from round one. Dunlap lands some knees there in the clinch. And honestly, he was just more aggressive. He was more versatile with what he was doing. Excellent little trip takedown there. Lands inside mount, transitions to mount, lands some shots. I like the fact that he was controlling a little bit here, moves him against the fence, lands some shots, but takes his time to make sure he has control and then creates space to land these bigger shots. He's definitely a guy that's creative in there, and I like what I'm seeing as far as the ground and pound. I expect him to come out looking for another takedown at some point here in the second round, especially with you know, the fact that he had him in so much trouble there in the first.
Seconds out. Fighters up. Let's go.
Sean, you talk about it all the time. You got to do more than just win. You see that jump off the cage from Dunlap. Just beautiful stuff there that's going to entertain the fans and, of course, the celebrity judges.
And here he's back in that very bladed sideways stance. But Morrison stalking, putting his back against the barrier. you saw Dunlap almost threaten to pounce off the cage there. Use some of that momentum, and Morrison backed up because of it.
Sean, it's rare that you see this level of composure and this level of skill. I mean, only 3 professional fights here, and he looks phenomenal tonight, really does.
Well, a 3-time All-American in college wrestling, that means something. He was also, as a high schooler, 159-9,
wow.
Won 2 state championships, and that was in Wisconsin. And as everyone knows, the Midwest, that's the breadbasket of wrestling in the United States.
And Morrison is no joke. He's a very tough out, excellent striker. Again, comes from one of the best teams in the world over an American top team. So you know he's well trained, he's well schooled. Also 3-0, all 3 by knockout. So he's no chump. But Dunlop right now just seems to be a step ahead.
All right, Ian Parker, you thought that Roland Dunlap had more tools to use in this fight, and that's what the first round showed us at least.
Yeah, I think right now he's taking a little bit of a breather. When the hand fighting, he's controlling. He's got really good kicks. But once he takes the fight to the floor, you see such a difference. I think at some point, probably around the 2-minute mark, he's going to go back to the wrestling and take over the round again.
Body kick there from Dunlap. Ate a right hand for his troubles, though. Monty Morrison is very much in this fight after that closing final minute of the first round. That saw him in a little bit of trouble. Another body kick.
Oh, that seemed to hurt Morrison.
Couldn't tell if he was...
And again, Dunlap going right to that body again.
A couple of good right hands there from Morrison. Randy, we saw a strong finish of round 1 from Dunlap. Will he go back to the wrestling as Ian Parker predicted?
It's a good question. He's landing that left kick to the liver now on Morrison, and see if he keeps going to that, because it looked like one of those really stung Morrison.
Tyrone, there he goes for it again. Are we going to see more of it from Roland Dunlap?
We're going to see a lot more of it, but I think we're also going to see a head kick come after it. He's setting him up. He's tenderizing that steak before he flames it. One thing I know for sure is that the antics are going back and forth, but you got to look at Dunlap, and you got to look at what he's doing. He's setting them up. He's peppering them. He's setting up for that big explosive shot.
Tim Kennedy, so far Monty Morrison has been on the defensive here in the second round. How can he switch gears and get on the attack?
Man, you got to start moving forward. He has that reach advantage, so he keeps trying to keep that distance and manage that distance, but Dunlap's out striking him. You know, he's going to turn that body kick into a head kick here pretty soon. You know, and Morrison, no matter how well he tries to gauge just distance, he's still going to eat that kick.
Yeah, I think that's the value of being a double threat, of having that takedown ability, because if Morrison comes forward, he knows that he's susceptible to that reactive takedown as well from Dunlap. So Dunlap's got a lot of tools out there, and he's using them. There he is, getting right to the clinch.
I tell you, you saw him with the shot. Morrison moves outside range, right? Negates the takedown attempt, and then Dunlap, the first thing he does when he stands up is try to throw that front kick to the face. It's just, you don't see that sequence very often, so a tough puzzle for Monty Morrison to solve here, as Dunlap now looks like he might be committing to a takedown here to really secure this round.
And again, this is just the first fight of the night, but Dunlap showing a lot of skills and a style that could really pose a lot of problems for people in this division if he's able to get into the PFL tonight with the contract. There's a beautiful knee to the head of Morrison, but doesn't have the experience. But you see, just based on his skill and his style, Sean, this is someone who could really pose a lot of problems for a lot of people out there.
Look here, this is, like you said, not a lot of experience. He's 3-0, but the savvy here of being from a great camp, taking this fight down to the ground again in the closing minute, really putting kind of an emphatic exclamation point on this second round. He's right into the mount.
Yeah, absolutely, and did it with ease. Morrison hasn't been getting as much experience on his back. He said he's been working on it, but this is where he's susceptible, and Dunlap absolutely exposing that.
Final few seconds of the second round. Roland Dunlap mounted again, and we will see round 3 next on Fubo Sports.
And here's some action from round 2. More of the same. You saw a lot more body attacks, a lot more body kicks by Dunlap. He was very aggressive with the kicks up until the end of the round. Here you take a look, he did feint a couple takedowns. He did have a couple takedown attempts. And here you're gonna see the takedown he got at the end of the second round. And again, ending in a dominant position.
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan that QR code to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put until you wash it out. Just for Men, the official beard color brand of the PFL. Kenny Florian, walk us through this replay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy with so many tools. Beautiful knee, just went upstairs with it against Morrison up against the cage.
There is Roland Dunlap. A promising first 2 rounds, as Julia tells us. This will open round number 3, the third of 3. Monty Morrison out of American Top Team in the black. Roland Dunlap out of Rufus Sport with the shot. Nice sprawl there by Monty Morrison.
Yeah, great reaction, good timing there from Morrison to get that sprawl going. You see that bruising, what looks like bruising on the back of Dunlap. That's actually from cupping. A lot of fighters, a lot of athletes will do that as some relief and some rehab after training. That will help the back muscles, and I've had it done. It kind of helps, Sean.
Dunlap now pressing Morrison into the barrier again. We'll take a listen inside the red corner. That's King Mo.
Right here, let it go, let it go. Let it go, Ronnie. Let it go, he's buying time. Monty, go first and last, right hook. Let it go, let it go. Put the head down.
King Mo trying to impress some urgency upon his fighter. There's Duke Rufus.
Connect the hands. Connect the hands. Yeah, push, pull. Push, pull.
Bounce off the cage. Boom.
Yep. Yep. Push, pull.
Cage.
Yep.
Use your shoulder.
Yep.
There you go. Bounce.
That's it. Good.
Savvy little switch of the grips there for Dunlap to try and secure that takedown. shot and reshot. And that's a 3-time All-American at Wisconsin Whitewater. Randy, you like this cage work?
He's doing a great job. The second effort is what's putting him in the position to get these takedowns to illegal opposition. I'd like to see him stay off his knees when he shoots that double leg. Stay on his feet and drive through his opponent. He'd have a lot more success putting the guys on their back.
Looked like he was trying to go for the shoulder there, Sean. It looks like he may have hit the face.
Yeah, the grounded opponent, you saw Monty Morrison with his right knee down, right to the ear, behind the ear. Roland Dunlap throws that knee, and that is very much an illegal strike.
Went right to the head, actually, yeah. There it is right there. He's going directly, and you see the knee here. He's his downed opponent right there, which makes it illegal.
Well, we've mentioned it several times, Kenny, but that is one of those things that is experience-based. Both of these guys very promising, 3-0 in their young professional careers. Understanding of the rules is imperative.
Yeah, and this is taking place in round 3. The referee could take a point away from Dunlap. Not sure he's made that determination just yet.
I mean, it's a bridge of the nose. It doesn't, do you want to look at it? It doesn't look.
Josh Ruckers informed Monty Morrison they will go on his restart whenever Monty Morrison feels ready.
Absolutely.
The 5-minute limit that you see with groin shots and eye pokes does not apply for illegal strikes in mixed martial arts. So Monty Morrison will take his time, although there will be some urgency impressed upon him about whether or not he wants to continue in this fight. And there's some calculus that happens here, if we're being honest about it, Kenny Florian. He's losing this fight pretty definitively.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dunlap's going to be up on those first 2 rounds. If they go to the scorecards, that would be to Morrison's disadvantage, in my opinion.
Ian Parker, I can see some chagrin on your face. Is that strike, going to cost Dunlap a win because of a disqualification?
I mean, if it ends up, I don't know. He's still winning this round, so he could still win the fight. It looked like he was winding up for that knee, and I'm scratching my head thinking, why even go anywhere near that? I understand knee in the shoulder of the body, but when you have that much body control in that situation and you're dominating your opponent, really not a smart move. Nothing good could have came out of that. He could have taken the back or thrown a punch. Right now, he's fortunate that Morrison's going to stand up and continue this fight because he could get DQ'd if he can't finish this.
Oh, and here it is. Here's the point.
1 point deduction here, Tyron Woodley. Let's be honest, we've seen guys in the losing position here take this as an out. Go down as a DQ, as a no contest. Looks like Morrison's ready to get back up and fight, though.
You know, if I can keep it real, Morrison has to be ready to get back up and fight because at this point, if that was an actual legal strike, we want to see him be resilient and fight back. If you look at Roland, what he said was he thought the arm was up. He wasn't looking at the leg was a supporting part that was still down. So he was waiting on the hand to come up. The second it came off the ground, he threw the knee. That was a technical and a mental error by him. But I believe Monty needs to get up and show us a little something because he's losing this fight.
Tim Kennedy, he's got 3 minutes. Can he make something happen after that pause in the action?
Man, he has to. Yeah, he doesn't have enough time to do anything else. You know, Dunlap, there's a dog in every Marine, and those dogs like to fight. So, you know, he's doesn't have the experience yet to really know when to hold back. But I'm telling you, Morrison has to come out swinging for these last 3 minutes if he wants to get a win.
Randy Couture, if you're in the corner of Monty Morrison, what's your advice?
Absolutely what Tim Kennedy just said. He has got to cut loose. He's got 3 minutes to turn this around and find a way to finish this fight for the victory.
Oh! Head kick there. That's one way to try and make it happen. Dunlap catches the kick, though, and presses forward on a single leg attempt.
Yeah, this is what Morrison needs to do, though. He needs to go for it, go for those big power plays here. Dunlap cannot lose his focus. Great sprawl by Morrison.
Knee! Clear it! Knee!
That's one thing Morrison has shown. If Dunlap does not set up the takedown with strikes first, Morrison's got a really impressive sprawl, but then he's got to angle off so he doesn't get pressed inside into the cage here. Final 2 minutes of this bout. Monty Morrison potentially running out of time here.
Now Morrison's got to look for a way. There's one underhook. He needs another underhook to try to press him away. Get off that cage. Good job circling away from the cage. Good opportunity for Morrison here.
Jumping knee attempt there from Dunlap. The 6'3" Morrison.
Oh!
Right, nice knee to the body there from Morrison.
Beautiful step knee there from Morrison in another.
Dunlap offers one back. Randy Couture, your overall thoughts on this fight?
Well, I think Dunlap has a lot of tools. He's showed some good things. I think he still has some things he needs to figure out on how to adapt his wrestling and how to be more aggressive. He had Mount twice in this fight, and I didn't see that fervent effort to try and finish the fight.
Spinning back fist there. Again, Tyron Woodley, another striking technique on display from Dunlap, but I think Randy made a great point. Aggressive enough?
I agree with Randy. He was winning in the striking. He should have stayed with that. The wrestling was not convincing much. But Monte needs to go for the broke right now. He needs to go at all costs, create space, and try to get some damage and get the KO.
Tim Kennedy, what do you think of Dunlap's performance?
Man, it's going to be close. You know what? Losing that point and now going to the cards, Morrison coming back, and it looks like Dunlap's waning a little bit. So I'm excited to see, hopefully, a finish in the last few seconds. But going to the cards, it's going to be a very close call.
Dunlap pressing Morrison against the cage one more time. Another jumping knee, misses. That one partially lands.
Morrison has done a much better job of timing those takedown attempts from Dunlap. Done a good job getting underhooks, sprawling off of those shots, but seems like it's going to be too little too late here.
Wheel kick glances off the guard of Morrison. Final bell rings. We will go to the judges' scorecards. Our first light heavyweight bout in the books on Fubo Sports. We'll have a decision for you when we return to PFL Challenger Series action.
And here is a look at the entirety of the fight. Round one, round two, you saw Dunlap just come out very, very complete as a fighter, very versatile. Beautiful little trip there, trip takedown, transitions to mount, lands some ground and pound in the first round. Just definitely showed a lot of control. Here you get a look at some of the creativity in his ground and pound. Round two was more of the same. I had Dunlap up entering the third just because of the kicks, the activity, and the takedowns. He was in control of the fight. Here you saw some good body attacks by Dunlap. Another shot to the liver there. He's very, very active. But that point deduction in round three really affected him. Here you take a look at this takedown attempt. Some good knees by Dunlap. He's controlling here. He transitions to mount. Some good knees by both fighters in the clinch. And then here is a look at that illegal knee in the third round. Very, very poor decision making by Dunlap, who was clearly in control and lost a point there in the third round. I still think he did enough to win the fight overall, but definitely some corrections to be made in the Rufus Sport camp there if he wants a future.
PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. And remember, fight fans, you can watch the PFL and much more right here on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports, shows, and all the extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FuboTV.com/PFL. The Ready for More Prep Point brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. You'll see that man, Taylor Johnson, just a little bit later here from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, as he gets taped up and ready to go. Take a look at our Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. The Cagenomics favoring Roland Dunlap in every category. Ground strikes and takedowns might end up being the difference in this fight especially. Inside the cage, Farouk Tawhid has the official decision.
After 3 rounds of action-packed action in the cage, we go to the judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. The scores from the judges, all 3 scored the battle 29-27 for your winner, Roland the Dream Dunlap.
No surprises there, Kenny Florian. Decision victory for Roland Dunlap out of Rufus Sport, the Anthony Showtime Pettis training partner. Put an impressive skill set on display, but some questions about cage awareness with that illegal strike potentially. All right, up next, Tristan Overvig getting warm. Final touches on the warm-up there. The grappling specialist will take on that man, Billy Elikana. 2 young fighters when we return on Fubo Sports. What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive?
An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable!
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Again, we are coming to you live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida for this week 7 of the 2023 PFL Challenger Series. Again, we have one more week after tonight. The second chance opportunity for some of the athletes that we saw earlier in this Challenger Series. But tonight is about the lightweights. We had an excellent kickoff to the night. But coming up next, the second bout in this light heavyweight division. Tristan Overig scoring off against Billy Elikana. Excellent fight. Will it be the submission skills of Overig or the striking of Elikana? Again, here's a quick look at Overig. This is a big kid, very, very talented grappler. Has some knockouts, you know, in his repertoire, but definitely prefers to take the fight to the mat. He is a very strong grappler, very aggressive submission artist, and I'm expecting to watch him try and take the fight to the mat.
I feel like I'm still young, I'm still learning. There's so much more to learn. I almost feel like I get to a peak and then it reminds me that I'm nowhere near where I could be and should be. You're always going to be able to exceed where you're at. You can still learn so much more. There's so much more out there to learn and take in.
And here is a look at the tail of the tape. Billy Elikana squaring off against Tristan Overig. Elikana 1 pound heavier, little bit of a height and reach advantage both in the arms and the legs. Very, very compelling matchup. Will it be the grappling of Tristan Overig or the striking of Billy Elikana? Stay tuned for this second fight of the night in this week 7 of the 2023 PFL Challenger Series from Orlando, Florida. Thank you for tuning in.
Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian here for PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. And fight fans, you can watch the PFL and much more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports shows and all the extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FuboTV.com/PFL. Our next bout brought to you by Firehouse Subs. 3 5-minute rounds between Tristan Overvig and Billy Elikana. We all take different paths into the sport of mixed martial arts, and for Billy Elikana, it was actually being stabbed in a street fight. Now, he's just 2 years into a career that we all think is very bright. He says he's just scratching the surface.
I feel like I'm still young. I'm still learning. There's so much more to learn. I almost feel like I get to a peak, and then it reminds me that I'm nowhere near where I could be and should be. And you're always going to be able to exceed where you're at. You can still learn so much more. There's so much more out there to learn and take in.
There's Tristan Overvig, a fighter by day, a bartender by night, and a single father whose main focus is providing a better life for his 2-year-old daughter, Veronica. He sees this opportunity in the PFL as the best way to provide for her future.
To choose a career in fighting, I just got good at it. Like, sometimes I don't like doing it. The cutting the weight sucks. The showing up to fight some random guy sucks. But it's the only way I really see retiring by 30 years old, having everything set up for Veronica. I don't really see another way of getting that done by 30. But I'm gonna get really fat. After, I'm just gonna stop. I'm tired of weight cutting. So once I'm done fighting, I'm just gonna relax.
That's right, you heard him. He plans to retire by 30, Kenny Flores.
that would be nice. That would be nice.
For our Puncher's Chance fighter intros, FuboTV.
The fighting continues live here at the PFL Challenger Series. Fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4-1, 2 by knockout and 1 submission in victory. Fighting out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, representing the USA, Billy, son of Susie Elikana. Fighting out of the red corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master. Personal professional record of 5-1 with 2 knockouts and 3 submissions in victories. Fighting out of Effingham, Illinois, representing the USA, Tristan Overvig.
Here's our tail of the tape for this bout, brought to you by Firehouse Subs. You can see these are 2 young fighters. Tristan Overvig is 23, Billy Elikana, 27 years of age. Elikana is the taller fighter at 6'2". He has a reach advantage in both the arms and the legs. Josh Rutger is set to oversee this second bout of the evening. Billy Elikana in the gray shorts, Tristan Overvig in the black. Touch of the gloves, Overvig in the southpaw stance.
Elikana, very talented striker, likes to switch his stances, and Tristan Overvig comes from one of the top submission or jiu-jitsu schools in the country over at Pitago Submission Fighting. Very interesting matchup, striker versus grappler here.
More of this hand fighting we saw in our first bout of the evening. In the open stance, Elikana says he feels like he's got equal power. Nice sharp jab there from the southpaw stance. And maybe more importantly, good movement on the takedown defense from Billy Elikana. Another jab from Elikana.
Yeah, Overvig a little bit too square to Elikana. He's offering up that center line repeatedly and just a little bit slower, so just needs to feint a little bit more. There he caught the leg. See if he can turn this into a takedown.
Overvig catches the kick, pushes Elikana back into the cage. And there's the trip. Nice scramble here from Elikana. Back to his feet for now.
Yeah, great job by Billy to get right back to his feet, but it's Overvig in on a single yet again.
Randy, I feel like I've seen you in this position before. What does Tristan Overvig need to do to finish this takedown?
Well, he's got his head down. He needs to bring his head up into the cheek of Elikana, climb up and capture that hip and use that high single to finish that takedown. Here at this point, he's just captured his leg. He needs to capture his center if he has a hope to finishing that. I'm seeing some issues with Overvig's footwork. He tends to cross his feet a little bit. He's lumbering around a little bit. I'd like to see him a little lighter on his feet and let those hands go.
Billy Elikana doing a great job with the balance and avoiding this takedown, Tyron Woodley. Can he get his back off the cage?
He definitely needs to get his back off the cage. Tristan, obviously, motion stays in motion. When you get to that single leg, keep it moving. He should be running a pipe. When you look at Billy, he's doing a good job. If he can stop this takedown, I think he's going to discourage Tristan and get back on his feet. He's landing some proper strikes there.
Tim Kennedy, right now it looks like maybe speed versus power in this matchup. Which wins?
I mean, I think speed always wins here, but, you know, making a mistake like throwing a kick against a talented grappler, you know, you're going to end up in positions like this. You know, Overvig right now trying to finish that single leg against the cage. This is not open mat like in a no-gi wrestling or jiu-jitsu match. It's much more difficult to finish that takedown against the cage as we see here.
All right, Ian Parker, remind me how you bet this fight.
I went with the underdog in Overvig here, and I like what Tim Kennedy said. I think he spent too much time on that single leg. He should either separated or tried to go to a double. Spent a lot of time, a lot of energy. He needs to get this fight to the floor. He may have exerted too much trying to get that takedown. Unless he gets this down, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Take a listen inside the blue corner, Billy Elikana, former PFL heavyweight Carl Seumanatafa, coaching his cousin.
Let him frame. Let him frame. Push up, frame. Body.
Overvig pulls guard.
Yeah, it shows his confidence, but it's going to be very difficult to hit a lot of submissions up against the cage, or it can be anyway. Elikana has good head position so far. And here you see Elikana's head position, and that just that alone is going to take away a lot of the attacks from Overvig. Overvig trying to get an angle there, and you see Elikana get his posture and go right back to work. Nice up kicks by Overvig, though.
And here comes the punishment from the top. Billy Elikana choosing his shots. Overvig tried to throw up a triangle attack there. Nothing doing, but he is back to
his feet. Big knee there by Elikana. And another.
Nasty uppercuts after that combination from Elikana. Overvig sucking wind here early. Big right hand, nice step through.
Yeah, Tristan's got to get off the cage here. Elikana really starting to smell blood here. Landed some huge knees, some big right hands as well.
Elikana now on the offensive here in the clinch, pressing Tristan Overvig up against the barrier right in front of our broadcast position. Final few seconds, and we will see a second round when we return on Fubo Sports. Says he feels like he's got equal power. Nice.
Here's a look at some replays from round one.
Maybe more importantly,
definitely some attempts by Overvig to get the fight to the mat. Here's a good kick that lands to the body by Elikana, but Overvig, he gets the leg trap, is able to get him on a hip, but not able to control on the mat. And then got some confidence there, Elikana.
We have Tristan, his back up against the cage. Elikana senses that, knows he can't really get out of there, and hits that beautiful double knee. And again, he's pinned up against the cage, and Elikana just unloading with his hands as well.
Seconds up, fighters up, let's go.
There's Billy Elikana out of North Las Vegas, Nevada. Proud of his Samoan heritage. Tristan Overvig, a grappling specialist, was unable to get this fight to the ground for more than a brief second in the first round. Now switching in the stance Back and forth. We saw that in the first round. Overvig will stay southpaw. There's a single leg attempt.
Yeah, and nice timing there. Got in safely on that single leg, but once again, Elikana up against the cage. You have the advantage for Tristan. He can pin his opponent up against the cage, but for Elikana, he can lean up against the cage to prevent a lot of those takedowns and take away the motion of Overvig.
Good. Hard on those. Put him on his butt. Let's go. Hard on those. Get him down.
Take a listen inside the red corner of Tristan
There you go.
Overvig.
Yep. Now we go to both legs. Dig deep. Dig deep. Don't get tunnel vision. See the opportunity to put him down. See the opportunity to put him down. Nice. It was there. Yes. Stay under his jaw. Stay under his jaw. Drive that head. Yep. There you go. Yeah, good. Pressure. Come good. Let's go. Got those legs. Let's throw them. Come on now. Yep. Good. Let's go.
Overvig still has the hands locked and high underneath the hips, but has to let go of it and surrender to an underhook here. And Billy Elikana uses that as an opportunity to turn Tristan Overvig's back into the cage.
Yeah, Elikana doing a good job of getting those underhooks, getting good head position. You see, there's an underhook here for Elikana. That's what's allowing him to control Tristan up against the cage. He also has very good head position. He's trying to keep that head underneath Tristan. This is definitely a situation where low man wins. He can control and pin Tristan up against the cage.
You good? Elikana gives a thumbs up on the near groin shot. 2 minutes gone here in the second round. Randy Couture, we heard Tristan Overvig's corner calling for better head position, but right now Elikana doing a good job placing his head where he needs it.
Elikana doing a great job with head control and head position. He's doing a great job countering these takedown attempts by Overvig. Overvig had the hips that time, but just couldn't walk his hips in and get Elikana off of his feet to finish that high single. Nice stuff by Elikana in defense.
Let's go, Tristan. Stop hugging him.
All right, we just saw the referee separate the action and restart them in the middle. Who's this a bigger opportunity for, Tyron Woodley?
You know, I think it's one for Overvig. He's not doing a great job of having economy of motion. He's using a lot of energy, clinching and not finishing the takedown. And Billy, in my opinion, he needs to separate. This is where he's best at, on the outside. So when he defends the takedown, don't spin Tristan back and put him against the cage. You're putting him into the fight.
Nice right hand there as Tyron Woodley was talking for Billy Elikana. And Tim, we just saw him step out of another takedown attempt. Is Overvig gassing himself with these loose attempts?
Man, it takes so much energy and puts so much blood into your arms when you're sitting there in the clinch like that. You know, you're leaning up against the cage, you're breathing hard, your head is down, but most importantly, you have this isometric hold, and that hold is putting blood into your arms, slowing everything down. Overvig looks like he's waning. You know, this is a time for Elikana to really capitalize and look for a finish.
Overvig able to step inside and grab this over-under, but Kenny, to this point, Overvig has not been able to capitalize on these chest-to-chest positions, these grappling exchanges. Nice defense from Billy Elikana, who once again turns Overvig's back to the cage.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's missing a lot of the technical nuances of wrestling, and specifically wrestling up against a cage, which is very different than just straight-up wrestling, of course. So for Elikana, he's using defense better than Overvig is, and I think it's as simple as that. I think Overvig is going to look at this fight and understand he needs to be more efficient and more technical with his takedown game up against the cage.
Inside of 1 minute here in the second round remaining. Right now, Billy Elikana in control of this fight, as Tristan Overvig has been unable to get Elikana to the ground.
And for Elikana, I'm surprised that he's not trying to separate and create some space. He clearly has the advantage in the striking, but really hasn't been able to get off the cage and create space.
Overvig there with a desperate attempt. Almost fell to his own back, and here's a combination from Elikana making him pay.
Tristan's got a chin on him, man.
Strong finish from Billy Elikana in round 2 and round 3 when we return on Fubo Sports.
And we're gonna take a quick look at some action from round 2. A lot of control and cage work by Alicana. You saw his opponent Overig their jump guard. And just another round that was controlled and dominated by Alicana, who's up 2 rounds entering this third.
Fighter corner of Tristan Overvig.
Get those clinch situations. You get that frame. But if you frame away from him, he can't clinch into you, okay? That's how we keep off of it. Okay? You got to keep that head moving. Fakes and feints.
Legs up! Legs up! Let's go!
This is it, Tristan. You got this, buddy. You got this, buddy.
Tristan Overvig right there. Red corner, black shorts. Billy Alicana, gray shorts, blue corner. So far, I think those first 2 rounds probably favoring Billy Alicana, but Tristan Overvig, he's got 5 wins. All 5 of the wins have come inside the distance, so we'll see what he can make happen here in the 3rd and final round. Ooh, ducks under a high kick there from Alicana.
Yeah, Overvig changed levels at just the right time. Almost got his head taken off with that high kick from Alicana. Now going back to that single. And what he needs to do is create some motion, at least pull him off the cage, get some motion, try to get Alicana's back to the center of the cage where he can at least go to a double, push him around a little bit, and maybe get to that double. Alicana doing a good job of getting that shin on the leg of Overvig, creating a frame with his leg and with that right arm as well.
Heading out to the outside for Tristan Overvig. Very tough takedown to finish a head outside single against the cage. Better head position now for Overvig.
350. Yep, 350, Tristan.
Inside of Overvig's corner here.
Let's go. Yep. Look at it. There you go. 1-1-2, let's go.
Here the corner calling for combinations from Tristan Overvig.
Good, follow up with a kick.
He takes the coaching. That's something you got to give a young fighter credit for.
Yeah,
Another knee attempt here from Alicana.
I tell you what, Tristan Overvig is tough as nails, and man, does he have a chin. Alicana has hit him with some big, big shots.
Overvig tried once again to get Alicana down to the mat, but strong hips from Alicana, and he just bowls Overvig over onto his back.
Yeah, and he's got good position, really driving that shoulder into the side of the jaw of Overvig.
Tyron Woodley, we've got Overvig on his back, Alicana in a closed guard. What can Alicana do to posture up and create some meaningful damage here?
Right now, he needs to put his hand across Tristan's face. He needs to use at the frame. He needs to lift up, and as he lifts up, keep his head high, because you already know the submission the attempt has to come, and really rain down strikes from above. Every time Tristan try to reach up and grab and break posture, put a hand right back across the face, elbow out, and push him down so you don't get hit with an armbar.
Randy Couture, Billy Alicana's got to know that he's got this fight in the bag, but it's not just about winning the fight, it's about impressing everybody and earning a contract. What can he do to do that in this moment?
Well, I think if I'm Alicana, I'm waiting for that guard to open. I'm going to back out of there and make this guy stand up and fight me where I've been winning this fight, and that's in the stand-up. Keeping my distance, not smothering my punches, using that sniper mentality that he has to land significant punches and keep Billy Overvig at the end of those punches.
Tim Kennedy, does Alicana need to pass the guard or stand up to create real power on these strikes?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get a finish in this position. You know, you got time for pretty much a Hail Mary submission off your back at this point. You know, you got 90 seconds left. Alicana, you're trying to win a contract here. You know, you're trying to make a statement, and you're not going to do that in the guard up against the fence. You're not going to do that in the clinch up against the fence. You got to, especially with the skills that he has, he needs some distance, and he needs to finish this fight.
Ian Parker, you took the underdog here. Right now, Overvig is looking like the underdog. Can he pull out the Hail Mary that Tim Kennedy just referenced?
You know, it's funny. Normally we wouldn't say pull guard. It's your best chance of getting the win, but this is really his best opportunity. And I think what Randy said best about Elikana, he should have separated standing up right away, because right now, Overvig is looking for a leg lock or a knee bar. If he's able to extend and get his legs straight, he could have it. If not, he's going to lose this fight.
Yeah, he's not quite able to get at the end of the lever here, and Elikana now pounding away with his right hand. And this is kind of what happens if you fail on a leg lock.
We were just talking about this backstage,
yes.
Kenny Florian. It's a high-risk, high-reward move. Tristan Overvig, I give him credit because I think he acknowledges where he's at in this fight. You got to go for the desperation attempt.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's trying to go for something, but Elikana just has better position here. Now has escaped his knee line. And it seems like Elikana trying to prove a point here, wants to win this fight on the ground, landing some big shots, but not sure why he's going into the domain of Overvig here.
The right hand snuck down for some really nasty damage. Elikana pounding away to finish it, and there's the final bell. We go the distance again. We'll have an official decision for you when we return. Challenger Series on Fubo Sports.
And here is a look at the recap of the entire fight. Overvig against Elikana. Overvig constantly looking to get his grappling game in the mix, trying to close the distance, trying to tie up, but throughout the entire fight, excellent defensive wrestling, an excellent balance and posture showed by Elikana, who was always quick to get back to his feet, always quick to get on a hip, on a leg, and right back up. Here are some exchanges on the mat, some of the ground and pound that we saw. Beautiful little step knee there, and just some excellent work here against the fence by Elikana, who had excellent control. Here you see his using his underhook, using his head positioning to just control Overvig and land knees, land punches. Ultimately, I think winning the fight 3 rounds to 0. We still have the official decision that we are waiting on from the judges, from Farouk in the cage. And just the durability of Overvig in this fight definitely showed a lot of heart. Not really what you want to be known for in fighting. You don't want to be known as a durable guy or the guy with the giant heart, but definitely displayed a lot of courage in this 3 rounds.
Welcome back, fight fans. Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. Tristan Overvig and Billy Elikana just finished. Here's a look at our Air Force Reserve Cagenomics post-fight stats. Billy Elikana outlanded, threw more strikes, had the wrestling, had the takedowns, negated a lot of Tristan Overvig's attempts. And an official decision in the hands of Farouk Tauheed.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Billy, son of Susie Elikana.
Billy Elikana improves his record as a professional to 5-1. Kenny put a lot of impressive skill and defensive skill on display. Went for the finish hard at the end, didn't quite get it. Light heavyweight action inside our Challenger Series cage, and there's a new PFL light heavyweight, Maeta, the sledgehammer, Thiago Santos, who will be part of our first regular season card, Kenny Florian, and we're going to keep him around to help us call the action in this next fight.
Oh man, I can't wait for his fight against Rob Wilkinson. 2 heavy hitters, action-packed fight right there.
You'd never fight that guy, Kenny.
No, I would not.
There's Taylor Johnson, Tombstone. He was victorious in the Challenger Series cage last year. Didn't quite earn the contract. Trey Williams looking to make a statement against Tombstone. Next on Challenger Series action.
90-second commercial. This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable.
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
Once again, we are coming to you live from Orlando, Florida for this Week 7, the light heavyweights for the 2023 PFL Challenger Series from Universal Studios here in Orlando, Florida, our home for the PFL 2023 Challenger Series. Again, we have one more week after tonight, the second chance opportunity for some of the athletes that we've seen earlier. And again, we are also getting ready and gearing up to kick off our 2023 regular season with our first 3 series of events, April 1st, 7th, and 14th from Las Vegas. Coming up next, an excellent fight in the light heavyweight division. Tombstone Taylor Johnson squaring off against Trey Williams. Again, this is the second time we'll see Taylor in the Challenger Series cage. Taylor is, like I said, a guy that is no stranger to this cage, no stranger to fighting. Powerful wrestler who moved up from the middleweight division. He's a heavy-handed grappler, good overhand right, excellent timing, very mobile, and has a good submission game. Quick on the leg locks. Gentleman that I trained with a little bit while he was in San Diego at Victory MMA. But he's squaring off against this gentleman tonight, this heavy-handed Trey Williams, who has a complete game, is aggressive. His favorite choke here, the Anaconda. He says that's his perfect weapon and his favorite weapon against wrestlers. He's a long, powerful striker, and he's a guy that's looking to make his mark. Will it be Taylor Johnson or will it be Trey Williams? Again, Taylor 1 pound heavier, but a slight height reach advantage for Trey Williams. Both fighters are experienced and very dangerous athletes. I'm expecting a very highly competitive fight from these two.
Welcome back to Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. We're in Orlando, Florida. Sean O'Connell, Kenny Florian, cage side. And joining us remotely, a new PFL light heavyweight set to make his debut in just a few short weeks, Thiago Santos, one of the hardest hitting 205-pounders in the world. Thiago, welcome to the broadcast. Let's talk about that debut. We're all excited to watch you in the PFL Smart Cage. You're taking on last year's champion, Rob Wilkinson. Is that the fight you wanted?
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. April 1st, I'm going to go there and put in the work. I'm very excited to do my debut against the light heavyweight champion.
Very much looking forward to that. As he mentioned, it will be on April 1st in Las Vegas on ESPN Plus and ESPN. Thiago will hang out with us for this fight. Here's our tail of the tape brought to you by Just for Men, One Day Beard and Brow Color. Oh, not the tail of the tape. Taylor Johnson, Trey Williams, ready to square off. Puncher's Chance fighter intros, courtesy of Farouk Tahi.
Your next fight is live right now. Fighting out of the blue corner, he's a grappler with a professional record of 6 wins and 3 losses. Fighting out of Reno, Nevada, by way of Sacramento, California, USA, all hail Trey the King Williams. His opponent fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler with a professional record of 8 wins and 3 losses. Fighting out of Redmond, Oregon, USA representative, meet your maker, Taylor Tombstone Johnson.
And now, here's the tail of the tape. Brought to you by Just for Men, One Day Beard and Brow Color. Taylor Johnson is 1 year older at 32. Trey Williams, 2 inches taller. 2-inch reach advantage favoring Trey Williams on the arms, 3 inches in Williams' favor on the legs, and Larry Folsom will oversee the action. Trey Williams in the gray, Taylor Johnson in his second Challenger Series appearance in the black. A little less beard and a little less mullet this year for Johnson. Same jab though, Kenny.
Yeah, that's right. He has big time power in his hands. Also very confident grappler as well. Trey Williams thinks he's the better grappler. Taylor Johnson says, I have no problem taking this fight to the ground.
Couple of kicks already from Johnson. Williams catches one and tries to sweep the leg out from under Taylor Johnson, who moves into a southpaw stance. And now back to orthodox. Johnson will switch it around, both for the striking and grappling purposes. Williams is taking
big right hand, yeah,
after the hook. Nice work by Johnson there to go over the guard of Trey Williams.
Definitely caused a little dip in the knees from Trey Williams.
Good head movement that time by Trey Williams. And you saw him already reaching for that anaconda choke that he told us is his favorite grappling technique.
Yeah, no question about it. His front chokes are excellent, but that right hand is as well. That rocked Trey Williams, and Taylor Johnson trying to finish the job here.
Johnson wrestles it around to the back. Trey Williams was on Silly Street, and here come the hammer fists and the right hands. Tombstone looking to put a stamp on this fight early, and he does.
Wow.
Taylor Johnson, first round finish.
He said that's exactly what he wanted to do out there, wanted to be more aggressive and pursue that finish, and man, did he do that here in round 1.
Kenny, it was the right hands that started that sequence. Woo!
Yeah, big time power, man. Trey Williams tried to hang on, but not enough.
A quick finish for Tombstone. We'll hear what our experts thought about the performance next.
This one's quick enough that we get to take a look at the entire fight. You can see nice jab by Johnson, who's mobile and on his toes, settles in. Good little inside leg kick to try and put his opponent off balance, but the whole time he's setting up that overhand right. His power punch recovers here. Again, same thing, you see him feinting. Just going back and forth with stances. First finish of the night, there he lands that 3-2. A little, again, goes for that hook. And then here's that overhand that he keeps trying to land. You see Williams try to tie up that anaconda, defending a takedown attempt. But here's gonna be a look at those final punches. Boom, overhand right, has him wobbly and just pounces. Good uppercut there, good tie up. Basically head plants him. And then from the mount, excellent ground and pound. Gets the back and just keeps going until the referee puts a stop to the fight. Excellent first round TKO by Taylor Johnson. First finish of the night. Is it enough to win that contract? Again, we want to thank you for tuning in for this week 7 of the PFL 2023 Challenger Series live from Orlando. Again, we've awarded already 6 contracts. Thad Jean, Amanda Levy, Abraham Babley, Elvin Espinoza, Dirty Desiree Yanez, and Brian Searcher all have won their contracts and are now official members of the PFL roster. Was that finish enough for Taylor Johnson to get a contract here on week 7 during his second attempt at earning a PFL roster spot? Stay tuned to see, and we will have the official announcement coming up shortly. Excellent fight by Taylor Johnson, who showed his comfort level and his maturity.
Take down stray grays and beef up patchy areas with Just for Men's new one-day beard and brow color. Scan that QR code on your screen to learn more about this temporary gray fighter that stays put until you wash it out. Just for Men, the official beard color brand of the PFL. And fight fans, watch the PFL and much more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports shows and extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FuboTV.com/PFL. Take a look at, ready for more prep point. No, Air Force Reserve post-fight stats. Give them to us, Kenny.
Oh, there they are. You see the total strikes there for Taylor Johnson, 29, 8 for Trey Williams, but it was a few right hands that really changed the whole fight for Taylor Johnson. Let's take a look at the Celsius post-fight replay. Let's take a look at a few of those right hands by Taylor Johnson. Big right hand right up and over that guard of Trey Williams. That had Trey Williams stepping in potholes there. Just nasty stuff from Taylor Johnson. Went around to the back. There's that right hand.
And definitely what I liked how he created that space. He knew what punches he needed to throw. He lifted him up with the uppercuts. And right at the end of the fight, I know Williams wanted a couple more seconds, but it was only 3 or 4 more punches. If you look at the stats, he was 13 for 13, 100% on ground strikes. He went in there with a mission and got the job done.
Yeah, he sure did. He said he wanted to be more aggressive tonight in pursuit of that contract. Did just that here in round 1. And we have the official announcement from Farouk.
Referee Larry Folsom calls a halt to this bout at 1 minute and 20 seconds of the first round, declaring your winner by TKO, Taylor Tombstone Johnson.
Tombstone Taylor Johnson. You were victorious inside the Challenger Series cage a year ago. You said, you know what, I think I need to get a finish this time. I think I need to be a little bit more aggressive this time. Did you just accomplish that goal?
I think so. The guy was willing to stay in the pocket, and he hit me with some good stuff, but I got the hammers, so let him fly.
Yeah, we saw that 6th career knockout victory. Is this one that earns you a contract in the PFL?
I think so. If y'all are willing to have me, I would appreciate it.
You mentioned you got the hammers. Actually, Thiago Santos, the sledgehammer himself, he's been watching. He was supposed to be joining us on the call, but you got the job done too quickly. Thiago Santos, what do you think of Taylor Tombstone Johnson's performance?
Great job. You know, I like so much how he moved, he switched around, and when he decided to attack, he attacked faster, you know, stronger and powerful. It's very nice. Congratulations. Amazing job, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Now to our celebrity panel, who of course have a vote on who earns that contract. Let's start with Tim Kennedy, who joins us remotely. We were asking for aggression in the first 2 bouts. We got it right here from Tombstone. Tim, what'd you think?
Oh, yes, we did. I like violence, and you put out some violence, man. Those heavy hands are vicious. It was fun to watch you fight. You know, people are scared of your grappling, so you're able to land them with those big power shots. It's a privilege to watch you fight.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Tyron Woodley, is that what you were looking for?
100%. He set those right hands up perfectly, had power, great head motion getting in there, and you threw the right strikes at the right time, and you were 13 for 13 on the ground, man. That's something to be said about that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Randy Couture, the big right hands dropped him, but it was that ground and pounding out 13 for 13. Ground strike something you're familiar with, Randy?
No, never. Actually, very impressive. He knew he had him hurt. He knew he had him hurt. He stayed composed. He grappled his way around, found a good dominant position, and then rained him down to finish the fight. That was very impressive.
An emphatic performance, a first-round finish for Tombstone, Taylor Johnson. Kenny Florian, what do we have next?
We have our main event. There's our Air Force Reserve prep point, and there's one of our main event participants, Impa Kasanganay. Has a lot of experience, big time power. He'll be taking on that man, Osama El Saidi. That is coming up next.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight.
The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable.
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And again, we are live from Universal Studios here in beautiful and warm Orlando, Florida. This 8-week series has been a nice little welcome change to the cold weather that we've been experiencing on the West Coast. And this is week 7 of the 8-week series. Tonight is the night of the light heavyweights. We have already awarded 6 contracts thus far, but there's still plenty of action left. We have one more fight left tonight. This main event fight with Impa Kasanganay versus Osama El Saidi. A good action-packed fight. Both of these gentlemen are looking for a finish and a contract.
All right, we're at Soul City Farm in Doral, Florida. It's my home. It's my home. I love it. I'm so blessed. Got my friend Matt Santos. We became friends over time when I moved to Florida. And I always wanted to learn about farming, living off the grid. And able to move out here and make it my home. So this farm we have cows, sheep, honeybees. We host prayer nights and just a great community for anybody who comes through. I want to have my own ranch one day, and Matt's been kind enough to teach me, and I have Nestor out here and all the homies. So it became like a safe place. Right? Whether I got beat up in training or I beat somebody up, I could just come out and think about it. So it's become a safe place for me for sure. Yeah. This is the casa. So, welcome to the yurt. Watch your step. I open it up for you. I guess you could say I've lived in most places. I mean, New York City, Charlotte, North Carolina, parts of South Florida, but there's no place better than this, most peaceful. Just show guys, no matter where they come from, like guys from Tajikistan or Central Africa as well, they can make it too.
To get a PFL contract, big step for me. That's my dream. And I want to show my fans, my family, my friend, my talent. I want to do what I like.
And here is the matchup. Here you see a little bit older Osama El Saidi, a little bit heavier, but reach is the same. Going to be an action-packed main event here on week 7 of the PFL Challenger Series, the light heavyweight division.
Welcome back to Fubo Sports and PFL Challenger Series action. Light heavyweights tonight. This next and final bout of the evening brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve, Impa Kasanganay and Osama El Saidi. And for our Puncher's Chance fighter intros, Farouk Tahi.
It's time now for 3 more rounds in the light heavyweight division. Fighting out of the blue corner, a boxer and a wrestler with a pro record of 8 wins and 2 losses. Representing and fighting out of Manufia, Egypt, Osama El Saidi. His opponent in the red corner, a striker with a pro record of 10 wins and 3 losses, fighting out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, representing the US of A, Impa Shilobo Kasanganay.
United States Air Force Reserve brings you the tail of the tape for this main event of the evening. Impa Kasanganay is 29 years of age. Osama El Saidi is 5 years older. Both men 6 feet tall. Kasanganay came in 2 pounds under at light heavyweight. Equal reach on the arms and the legs for these 2 light heavyweights. Larry Folsom to oversee this final bout of the evening. Impa Kasanganay in the black shorts, Osama El Saidi in the gray. And we are underway. A tone was set in that last fight with the aggression. Taylor Johnson got it done quickly. Will that motivate a stylistic difference? The big swing of the right hand from Osama El Saidi might answer that question, Kenny.
Well, I think it needs to. I mean, you look at Taylor Johnson's performance, first round knockout. Kasanganay and El Saidi need to definitely get to work and try to impress the celebrity judges and the fans more than Taylor Johnson did. El Saidi immediately going for a takedown here.
He's been a little bit wild, but he's been effective in getting to this position. Kasanganay trying to limp leg out of this. El Saidi just bowls him right over and lands in the half guard.
Yeah, and immediately hits his takedown. He says wrestling is his true passion. Great get up there by Kasanganay.
You saw the underhook early from Impa.
Yep.
And that led to him getting back to his feet. El Saidi now looking to wrestle again.
Yeah, that high-level experience from Kasanganay coming into play here. El Saidi, though, underneath the hips. He's going to be able to finish. Nice single-leg finish. Kasanganay trying to post that arm and go back to the... Try to go for a little Granby roll. Could potentially do it again. Trying to turtle up and get back to his feet.
Big hammer fist and then a hook from Osama El Saidi. An absolute powerhouse who made the trip all the way from Egypt for this bout. Kasanganay climbs up the fence. Thiago Santos, we're going to let you off the hook and watch the rest of this fight, but we will see you on April 1st in the main event. Give us a prediction before you leave. A prediction, Thiago.
Oh, man, I'm very... The prediction will be firework, man. You know, it's going to be, you know, firework, and someone going to fall down.
Someone is going to fall down, says the sledgehammer. Thiago Santos against Rob Wilkinson. Oh, nice combination there from Impa. Landed a sharp one, too. And El Saidi in a little bit of trouble here. Impa offers a head kick as Saidi just turned and ran away.
Kasanganay staying very composed here. He's picking his shots, really playing the role of sniper here.
Leg kick there from El Saidi, but he threw it naked and made a combination for his troubles. Tyron Woodley, interesting first half of the round. What do you make of this bout?
Man, we got 2 separate things going on. Osama's trying to make it ugly. Impa's trying to make it pretty. He has to find a way to try to get inside. We've seen a lot of slugs thrown in the beginning. Right now, either one of these guys can knock the next one out. I really don't see him leaving the first round, to be honest with you.
Randy, what do you think? Will we make it to the second round?
Nice punching combinations by Kasanganay. El Saidi doing his best to put this fight on the ground, but he's a bit unorthodox and a little, gosh, what's the word? He just, unorthodox, I guess is the only way to put it. He's got to find a way to get this fight on the ground, or I think it's going to end quickly.
Tim Kennedy, we're seeing Kasanganay start to figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, man, Osama has this lumbering energy, you know, and that doesn't work well when somebody can fire off strikes from every single angle, quick responses, great grappling, great counter grappling. You know, this is dangerous. You know, if you make a mistake, Impa can put you to sleep.
Ian Parker. Impa's taking the back of Osama El Saidi. Is this the final leg of your parlay, if I'm not mistaken?
You are not mistaken. And look, El Saidi he's tired. His gas tank is gone. Trying to really put Impa on the mat, trying to use that wrestling. For Impa, he just had a sprawl. And now the striking's taking over, landed some good shots. This fight will probably be over soon. If not, it's going to end in the second round.
El Saidi stands up. High kick attempt off the guard of Impa Kasanganay. Lumbering energy, I like the way that Tim Kennedy put it. They're not real light on the feet. Osama El Saidi, but big hook lands for Impa. Face plants Osama El Saidi. TKO in the first round for Chilobo.
What a performance by Impa Kasanganay. Stayed composed. El Saidi lost his composure, got desperate out there, started reaching, and that's where Impa really started to take over.
I think Tyron Woodley put it best. Osama wanted it to be ugly. Impa refused to play that game.
Yes.
And landed some pretty strikes. And Delano Taylor, welterweight finalist from a year ago, friend and training partner of Impa Kasanganay. There's a party at the yurt later tonight, Kenny Flores. Impa Kasanganay lives on a farm in a tent.
I hope I'm invited, whatever it is, but that is a happy man right there in Delano Taylor.
We'll make this one official, and we still have to give out a contract. It's not just winning the fight.
Yes.
You got to impress the judges and the fans. More next. He's been a little bit wild, but he's been
Here is a look
effective in getting
at some
to this
replays
position.
of this round one. The takedowns for Kasanganay, El Saidi, who was just aggressive with the takedowns. Kasanganay stayed composed. He was in some not so pleasant positions, but he was able to recover. Always pushing on the head, always trying to create space, and honestly, just always trying to break grips. Very important against a wrestler with the style of El Saidi. Here you see just always attacking that grip around the waist, always attacking those grips. And here, a look at the last minute escape, almost back take. And here's a look at that final exchange. Beautiful shot landed by Kasanganay, who gets a TKO victory here in the first round on this final fight of the night. There is that power that we talked about early on. Again, this is week 7, the light heavyweights. One contract will be awarded. We had 2 finishes tonight in the main and co-main event. But will it be Impa Kasanganay? Will it be Taylor Johnson? Will it be Billy Elikana or Roland Dunlap winning that contract tonight and possibly finding themselves with the same opportunity that Delano Taylor had last season, fighting for $1 million at the end of the year? There's a lot on the line for these guys. Don't forget, you guys also have a vote.
Don't forget, fight fans, you can watch the PFL and much more on Fubo. Get over 100 live channels of sports shows and all the extras for half the cost of cable. Watch 7 days for free. Sign up at FuboTV.com/PFL. That's FuboTV.com/PFL. Here's our Cagenomics post-fight stats brought to you by the United States Air Force Reserve. Osama El Saidi wrestled early, wrestled heavy, but Impa Kasanganay was able to get back to his feet and start the strikes. He landed 23 of them on his way to a first-round TKO victory.
All right, let's check out the Celsius post-fight replays. Here's Kasanganay with a beautiful jab. There's that sprawl against El Saidi, who was looking for that takedown all night. There's another nice combination that dropped El Saidi. That was the end of the fight right there.
Larry Folsom had seen enough at that point. Just a nasty series of shots there from Impa. Left hand, and it's the right hand that finished it, Tyron.
Like I said, Osama was trying to get Buck Wild early on, but those haymakers could have landed. Impa had to do a great job of being composed and be patient, but also get involved with her.
And there's the corner for Impa Kasanganay. Just great stuff there from Impa. And let's get the final decision from Farouk Tahid. Farouk.
Referee Larry Folsom calls a halt to this bout at 4 minutes and 15 seconds of the first round, declaring your winner by knockout, Impa Chilomo Kasanganay.
Thank you, PFL. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Family, God bless y'all.
Thank you. Impa Kasanganay, second career knockout victory, but let's talk about how this fight developed. Osama came to fight, he got you to the ground, you kept your composure, got back to the feet. Did this play out the way you thought it would?
Yes, sir. I mean, this was my first fight at 205, right? And we always say at the gym, like, fighters fight. But Coach Lentz told me, he said, it doesn't matter. You're going to come out with this victory no matter what. Coach Dieter said, be patient, be smart. And y'all know Delano, he just says, hey, keep fighting, man. And shout out to everybody at Kill Cliff. It's like, we go through hard rounds. You know, shout out to Aaron Jeffrey fighting soon, all my teammates. Everybody at the gym, like, you have some dog rounds in there. So I knew what it's like a takedown doesn't mean much. You got to put me out or kill me. So I'm ready to fight.
Tell me, Taylor Johnson took 80 seconds to finish his opponent, right? That's a little motivation. You know this is not just about beating your opponent.
Yes, sir.
You got to impress these celebrity judges, the fans at home. That light a fire for you to get that finish.
Yeah, for sure. It motivated me. It's inspirational. I met Taylor when I was doing the weight cut, like the little bit that it was, and he was super cool. Then he got the knockout. He goes, hey, man, it's your turn. So it's like, all right, I don't want to lie to him, so I got to go get it done.
Second knockout of your career. You like that sound?
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. This right hand's coming through. Coach Dieter, Coach Henry Hoof, Jason Strout, Nick Lentz, all my coaches have been helping me out. You know, Cosmo, they've been blessing me. So it's been like it's a gift, and I'm just looking to develop it some more. So ready to get after it this season.
All right, let's see what our celebrity panel thought of the performance. Tim Kennedy, you're up first. Impa gets taken down, gets right back to his feet, makes it happen. Face plants Osama El Saidi. What'd you think?
Man, El Saidi, you know, he wanted a dogfight, and I was so impressed how you stay composed. You know, that relentless pressure trying to finish that takedown. Right on top of you, switching from that double to the single, a little duck under the back take, but you stayed composed. The whole entire time you're waiting to pick your shots. It was really, really beautiful. Not just how well-spoken you are, which I'd like to commend you on, but more importantly, how you were poetry in motion. You know, you are a violent dude, and I like watching you fight.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right, Tyron Woodley, is that the performance you needed to see?
Extremely impressive, especially how he stayed in the pocket. He was in that storm. Any of those buckwild haymakers could have hit you, could have landed, could have put you down to the canvas. But you stood in there, you found your shots, you worked through every position intelligently. You got out of the takedown, you got back to your feet, you escaped, and you saw his hands down, you saw him gassing out, and you knew it was time to smash the gas and put on the pedal. Jens Pulver, Hall of Famer, told me one time, he said, make it pretty, then make it ugly. And that's what you did in the cage. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Randy Couture, 2 knockouts in a row to finish the night. Pretty enough to earn a contract. What'd you think of the performance?
Well, very snazzy choice of combinations. That right hand was right on the dot, and that was the one that put him out. What impressed me was spinning out of the single, a beautiful sprawl a couple times. You scrambled really, really well. You stayed composed in some wrestling situations, and that's not really your background, and that's impressive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Impa Kasanganay victorious in his PFL debut, but just one of 4 winners from our card tonight. That means 4 winners are eligible for the 1 contract we have to give away. We'll bring the other 4 winners inside the Challenger Series cage. The other 3, the 4 total winners, I should say. Billy Elicana, Taylor Johnson. Roland Dunlap there, already enjoying a little post-fight Bud Light. Let's see how the night played out with some of these highlights. We started with Monty Morrison and Roland Dunlap. Dunlap with some success on the feet, and then the grappling, got into the mount, a little ground and pound, some creativity jumping off the cage here for the Dream. Body kicks were landing for Roland Dunlap. The knee to the head. An illegal knee. The referee had to take a point. Spinning back fist. Roland Dunlap with a decision victory. There's Roland Dunlap, victorious. Okay, let's see what our celebrity judges thought of that early performance. Go all the way back, Tim Kennedy, to that decision victory. A 3-0 Roland Dunlap improves to 4-0. We saw some good, some bad, mostly good from Roland. What'd you think?
Yeah, a lot of good. You know, it's dangerous. I know the karate stance looks fun. It is just dangerous. You know, when your hands are low and you fight a good Muay Thai kickboxer and you give them that angle, they're going to eat your leg up all day long. And anytime that you go to square up, you're going to eat that right hand all day long. Fortunately, he has that wrestling background, so it takes how dangerous it is to give that single leg away. But also, you have to have that IQ in the cage to know when to throw those strikes. Making a mistake like that up against the cage, getting deducted a point, he's lucky he wasn't disqualified.
All right. Okay. Roland, you want to offer an explanation about the illegal knee? Look, Tim Kennedy just walked through what happened there. Tell me how that illegal knee came about.
Well, for a second, I saw him post up kind of a little bit, and I thought he was going to raise up maybe, and I just misjudged the timing and kind of floated one in.
Okay. Didn't exactly float. That was a sharp knee. No floating.
Hey, hats off to him for getting up, though, because I know there's a lot of people that wouldn't have got up from a knee like that in a situation like that.
You're absolutely right. Monty Morrison did not take the easy way out in this fight. I offer the same compliment to him because he could have had the DQ. Tyron Woodley, your thoughts on Mr. Dunlap's performance?
I mean, we don't need to go over the knee again, but I do want to give some credit to the creativity. He showed some creativity, some spinning wheel kicks. He was really working the body kick quite often, utilizing wrestling. He shows a well-rounded mixed martial art game. Just a couple things here and there, experience I think will get him to the next level.
All right, Randy, what'd you think?
I was impressed. He showed some dynamic techniques, the spinning stuff, the karate, the kicking, a lot of that, those hips and that stance reminded me a little of Lyoto Machida. You took a couple of shots and you stopped on your knees, and I think you got to figure out how to stay on your feet and drive through your opponent. You're going to get yourself into trouble stopping on your knees on those shots. But I was impressed with your overall game. You have a lot of dynamic skills and skill set. Very, very impressive.
All right, that's what the celebrities thought of Mr. Roland Dunlap. Impressive. Victorious, still undefeated. Now fight 2. Let's talk about the highlights from Tristan Overvig and Billy Elikana. Elikana with the switch knee, landed a couple of those. Overvig gets credit for a strong chin in this bout. Saw the sharp right hand. We also saw an overhand right from Elikana, pouring the pressure on. This was, I think, the end of the second round, getting after it. Another knee, forcing Overvig to the takedown. And then negating that last second leg lock attempt. Billy Elikana with a decision victory. Billy, you've had a little time to process your performance. What'd you think?
I think I did good. Kind of played a little safe. I should have went out there and really laid it all on the line, but I think I did enough.
Did enough. That's the question. Let's talk to our celebrity panel. Tim Kennedy, look, it doesn't have to be a finish. A decision victory where you put all your skills on display, has won a contract before. Is Billy Elikana in the running for you?
I mean, it was a great performance, Billy Elikana. You know, you got to fight smart, though. You got to know when to put the boots to this guy. You could have finished him. I wanted to see you put him away.
All right, Tyron Woodley, did you see opportunities for a finish in this fight?
I saw opportunities for a finish. I thought she had some great dynamic striking, very long, great combination. It was times where you smothered and you clinched him, maybe breaking away at those moments in time and go back to your advantage, which seemed to be the striking.
Randy, we did see some good clinch work from Billy. What do you want to see improve?
Yeah, I like what he did. I thought the most impressive part was he recognized exactly where his opponent was trying to put him, and he did his best to stay out of those situations. But he did smother his punches when he wanted to stay out at range. That's where he was most effective. And I think learning to shorten your levers in that clinch, use that shoulder punch, and create some space to stay in your wheelhouse, which is letting those hands go.
Billy Elicana improves his record to 5-1. Makes himself eligible for a PFL contract. And then we got the finishes. Tombstone Taylor Johnson. We already talked to him, heard what the celebrities thought about that. Take a look at this highlight one more time. Nasty shots. He landed all of them. He landed all the punches on the ground. Hammer fist, left hook, right hands. Nasty. Okay, the question, I got Tombstone here inside the cage with me as we made this one official. So I asked Impa Kasanganay after he won, did you put the pressure on him? He said yes. You only took 80 seconds. Make a case as to why you deserve this contract and not Impa with that finish.
I'm just going to continue throwing these bombs, man. You'll see more of what you just saw, so that's all I got to say.
We'll narrow the 4 winners down to 2 finalists when we return to PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports.
And here is a look at all of the fights from tonight. Here we have Roland Dunlap using this ground and pound. And honestly, just a variety of techniques, standing up and on the ground to get that decision win in fight 1. Fight 2, Billy Elicana squaring off against Tristan Overvig. And it was just Billy avoiding the jiu-jitsu and the grappling of Overvig while landing heavy shots. Overvig definitely showed a lot of guts in this fight, a lot of durability. But he did take quite a bit of punishment, losing that decision win to Billy Elicana. And then here we are, the first finish of the night, the co-main event. Tombstone Taylor Johnson showing his power, throwing those heat. That overhand right, followed by the takedown attempt. That's how he likes to cut the distance, getting that TKO win in round 1. Tombstone Taylor Johnson. And lastly, here you have the wrestling defense is what got it done tonight. Another excellent knockout to end the night.
Welcome back to Orlando, Florida, and PFL Challenger Series action on Fubo Sports. 4 winners inside of our Challenger Series cage, 1 contract giveaway. Before we narrow it down to 2 finalists, a word for the fighters from President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo. Ray.
Light heavyweight guys, congratulations. You guys all won. Obviously, the last 2 fights stood out, so there's 1 contract. So good luck.
All right. 4 great performances, couple of finishes. We'll narrow it down to 2 finalists. Now, when I announce your name, please step forward. Taylor Tombstone Johnson, please step forward. Impa Kasanganay, please step forward. Mr. Dunlap, Mr. Elicana, congratulations on your win. You may exit. 2 finalists. And now the Bud Light fan vote opens. You, the fans at home, have an opportunity to help us decide who wins a contract. Scan the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen to cast your vote. You can also go to pflmma.com/vote. You help decide who wins a PFL light heavyweight contract. A Redcon 1 highlight to remind you why you might want to vote for Taylor Tombstone Johnson. Big right hand. That was the first of more than one, and there's a second. A third lands, and then 13 strikes on the ground, putting an exclamation point on Taylor Johnson's 6th career knockout victory. Bud Light fan vote is open. Scan the QR code, cast your vote, or go to pflmma.com/vote. Now let's take a look at the Redcon 1 highlight package for Impa Kasanganay. Gets back to his feet after some heavy wrestling from Osama El Saidi. Lands a left hand and a right hook, and that puts Osama El Saidi on his face. A little celebration, shaking of the hips. Chilobo victorious in his PFL debut. Go vote right now. The vote is open. It will only remain open for a few more minutes. We'll hear from our celebrity panel who cast their own vote when we return on Fubo Sports.
This is the fight of their lives. 56 elite fighters battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
Literally anything could happen. Unbelievable.
This is the 2023 Challenger Series.
And again, we are live on this week 7 of the PFL 2023 Challenger Series from Universal Studios here in Orlando, Florida. We had an excellent night of fights. 4 fights in this PFL Challenger Series light heavyweight division. This was week 7 of 8 total. We've already awarded 6 contracts. We already have the 2 finalists in the cage waiting for you all to finish your fan vote. And then we will see what the judges decide. Again, each night we have 4 fights. Only 1 contract is awarded. The 4 winners are eligible for the contract. PFL selects 2 finalists. The celebrity panel and fan vote choose the contract winner. If for any reason there is a tie or a draw, well, Ray Sefo makes that ultimate decision, and the winner will appear in the PFL 2023 season. Again, huge opportunity for one of these 2 gentlemen. And again, these are all the winners from all the weeks. Thad Jean, Amanda Levy, Abraham Babley, Elvin Espinoza, Dirty Dez, and Brian Sorcher. Again, we have 6 new athletes on our roster, all thanks to this 2023 Challenger Series. Again, we have 1 week left of this 8-week PFL Challenger Series. The last week is a second chance opportunity for some fighters that we saw earlier on in the series. Week 1, Thad Jean was able to take it. Week 2, Amanda Levy in the debut of the women's featherweight. The heavyweight Brit Abraham Babley takes it for week 3. In the lightweights, Elvin Espinoza gets it with a rear naked choke win. Dirty Desiree Yanez gets it. And then last week, Brian Sorcher for the featherweights. Again, Orlando, Florida. Universal Studios, our home. The PFL 2023 Challenger Series from Universal Studios in Orlando. Cast your votes.
The PFL Challenger Series cage now has 2 finalists. We narrowed down 4 winners to 2 finalists. We'll reveal the votes from our celebrity panel and the fan vote, the Bud Light fan vote. Kenny Florian is on stage with our celebrity panel. Kenny?
Sean, thank you very much. I'm going to go with Tim Kennedy first. Tim, 2 first-round finishes here. What are your thoughts?
Oh, man, it was so close. Such impressive fights. You know, I love the power and the intensity that both these guys bring. First-round finishes. It's so close, you know, incredible performances.
And Tyron, how about you?
Taylor, I love the way you walked him down. You chopped down the tree. You got close. That power can move a mountain, and you did a great job of it. Input, you really worked through every situation. You saw your opportunity. You closed out the house. So I love what I saw from both guys.
Randy.
Yeah, Taylor, you did a great job. Came out, did exactly what we love to see in the PFL, what's going to score points for you. Impa, you did an amazing job. We got to see you for almost a full round. You showed a lot of great composure, great hand speed and combinations, and a very, very refined game. So both of you guys, very impressive. You're not making this easy.
All right, and Tyron Woodley, what is the decision from the celebrity judges?
Not only was I split in my thought on who should get the vote, but the panel, we all were split on who should get the vote, so it was not a unanimous decision. Taylor, like you said before, we love the power, we love the explosiveness and finishability. Input, you came out, you got the job done. The performances were pretty even, so we really thought about who has the full package, who can go to the next level, everything included, and our vote is going to go to Impa.
There you have it, Sean.
All right, so the celebrities weigh in. A split decision from the celebrities favoring Impa Kasanganay. But that's not the whole story. The fans at home, courtesy of the Bud Light fan vote, have an opportunity to help us decide who deserves a spot on the PFL light heavyweight roster in 2023. With 68% of the vote from the fans, Impa Kasanganay gets the celebrity vote and the fan vote, and that means he gets the medal, the handshake, the hat, the t-shirt. Impa, light heavyweight contract winner. The family feeling it, everybody happy. Impa Kasanganay here inside the cage. Look, man, you battled a little bit of adversity. You got the job done. You're the newest PFL light heavyweight. How does that sound to you?
Sounds amazing, man. It's just a testimony to what God has done in my life, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And, to my great team, Coach Henry, the whole Kill Cliff team, Dieter, Nick, you got Delano here. It's a testimony, man. It fills me. I'm very, very happy. I'm at a loss for words.
Impa, you live the simple life, right? You live on a farm in a yurt. Are you going to go sell? Is there a party with the sheep tonight? How's this going to happen?
Yeah, there's a party with the sheep. Probably got to see what Matt needs to get done on the farm, but we got some more work to do for sure. But take a night, sleep under the stars, and just thank God.
Impa Kasanganay, Challenger Series light heavyweight winner. Party inside the cage, party on the farm. Impa Kasanganay, the proud son of Congolese immigrants. And it is a family affair for the Kasanganay family here celebrating the achievements of their son. We are down now to our final week of Challenger Series action. 7 down, 7 contracts awarded, and a second chance opportunity for some of our Challenger Series next week. So that's all for the light heavyweights. We're back again next Friday night, 9 Eastern on Fubo Sports, where some of our previous fighters will have that coveted second chance to step into the cage and fight for life-changing PFL contract and the shot at $1 million. From all of us here at the PFL, we will see you next week on Fubo Sports.